So I'm recording now.
Okay.
How exciting is that?
Yes.
It's like we've got like 1 million listeners. So anyway, Sally out there in Nottingham, the only person listening to this.
It is so cool.
Right, okay, so welcome to this Series 3 of the Conquer Food, the Conquer Food Show. I forgot myself what it was then, but obviously we're in the new studio. This is the first sort of guest I've had this year, and it's quite fitting really because, Kath, you've been coming to bootcamp for
years.
Since Haydor, really.
Yeah,
You
I came once to Haydor.
Yeah.
And then followed straight when you guys came here.
Yeah, so
It's been years.
you're one of the longest.
Yeah. Basically, I'll just count myself as Conquer Food.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many weeks you've done and how many circuits you've done, but you've certainly done a lot, and you've seen a lot of progress and all that. So it's really fitting that you're on the podcast today, but also you've got an amazing story because you've obviously got one business that you do with your PR and marketing for a range of people. We'll probably talk about that in a minute, and then we've got another business that we definitely want to talk about, and stay with us because am I right in thinking that it kind of originated at bootcamp, during the state bootcamp?
Kind of. I mean, I had the idea, but to actually put it into action happened at bootcamp. Yeah, amazing. Right, okay, so it'd be good if you could just give people listening just a little bit of a rundown really of who you are and how you found yourself at bootcamp to start off with. Okay, so my name's Katherine, and I originally came to bootcamp, let's just say 4 or 5 years ago, and that was just because I'd gained a lot of weight from the industry that I was working in, which is influencer marketing. And there's a lot of events that surround that. So there was a lot of champagne on arrival, prosecco on arrival, that kind of thing. So I found myself gaining weight. And I had clients with large followings on social media who were really desperate to go to this new craze that they'd heard of, boot camps. And they were like, oh, I want to go to a boot camp. I want to experience what it's like. I've heard it's military training, blah, blah, blah. So then I can't remember how it came about, but somehow we ended up finding you guys and then coming, and I came with one of my clients, Imogen, who was also a regular boot camper and also loves it. But that's how we originally came, and it was basically just to lose weight. Yeah. We didn't kind of...
Did you, let's just get straight into, did you expect to meet incredible friends? Because you have, haven't you? I mean, you've got, you have got probably... I mean, it makes me nervous to think if you ever went into the world of boot camp, we're done.
Don't worry, that's not on the agenda.
I know, but you have got such a network of really good friends. Oh, yeah, you know what
absolutely.
I mean? That kind of spawn from boot camp and your time at boot camp.
It's networking as well as well as it's losing weight, as well as it's eating healthy and your mindset. Which, by the way, I never came for at all. Yeah, I was just I don't care about my mind. Yeah, I'm fat, whatever, but I'm here to lose weight, and therefore I'll do the training, I'll eat the food, and that's it. No one speaks to me about mindset. Don't try and talk to me about hypnotherapy or any of this. I don't want to know. Yeah. So that was originally how I was when I came, but obviously coming back time and time again, you realise it's all about your mind and everything that you're doing. It's all your mindset, and then you kind of go, oh yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't ever expect to meet friends. I thought it'd be, I'm there for a week, bye, speak to you never. But then obviously we met you and Paula, which straight away we were like, oh my God, yeah, we love these. But then everyone else, the trainers, they become your mates. Yeah. And then all the other people, it's just such it's people that you'd never meet in the real world. Like, why would I meet, I don't know, 54-year-old men from, I don't know, Ghana, Dubai, London. I just wouldn't. Yeah. But you meet them here, and and you become friends for life and help each other.
And not only would you not meet them, but you wouldn't end up going through some tough times, you know what I mean? And those tough, challenging circuits, they break down barriers. You get to know each other really well, and that's where you forge friendships. Yeah, so incredible. Absolutely. What is one of the biggest things when you think about the successful people at boot camp? Yeah. Right, and straight away you'll probably have loads of people that have made some incredible changes. Yeah. What commonalities do you see in what they've done? And really what I want to do is something really valuable for people listening to this that are trying to lose weight or, perhaps don't even believe they can lose weight. Yeah. But what are some of the commonalities of actions or thoughts or whatever that you've seen in those successful people that you think would help other people?
I think it's about having a strong mind, I would say. Just the people that I meet who do well. To be honest, it's often the people who shock me the most. Yeah. So like they come and I see them obviously big, because some of them are very, very big. They're not just like they've got a bit of weight to lose, they've got a lot of weight to lose, to the point where they almost can't walk. And it's horrible to say, but in your head you're thinking, oh God, they won't last a week. Yeah. And it's always them who surprise you. But I think it's just the way their mindset changes is based on the staff at the boot camp, because the trainers, the people who cook your food, like the house staff in general, you and Paula, it's like somehow, I don't know what happens. Them first 2 weeks, they're saying that they're going to leave every day. And they're saying, I hate this. What is this? I want to go. And then something flips in their head. And it's obviously something that you as staff have done, or the people around them, I don't know. But something flips in their head where they go, right, okay, I'm not going now. Decision made. And then they just crack on and they take it. I think the key to surviving like a 3-month program is to just take it day by day. They don't go, I'm here for 3 months. That's it. They go, okay, well, tomorrow I'm going to do this. Well, the next day I'm going to do that. And then Friday I get a break. So I'm going to go to the spa and then I'm going to go again. And I think it's just learning to take it day by day and having just such supportive network around you of people doing the exact same thing. So
yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, and what's not being said there is weight loss, getting fit, whatever, really is a step-by-step thing, you know. And quite often we think, right, well, I want the destination, but I don't want the journey.
Yeah,
you know,
that's so true, and that's like how I always thought as well. But then you realize it's like you can do a million fad diets and they just don't work until you actually change your full-on life. Yeah, then you're stuck like that. Yeah,
amazing. Wow, this is brilliant already. We've not even gotten to the meat of of what we're doing. So, so you spent some time at boot camp, and then you know, right now you have you're 12 months into the ThinK Wine Group. Is it about that or a bit more?
No, a bit less actually. It was 2 years in development, but we've only had it launched for 6 months.
Okay, well, let me just give you a little bit of a rundown of what I know of it, and then you can start talking us about it, and the listeners will realise just why this episode could absolutely change their life. You know, in my mind, I've got. Let me tell you what it is. So the ThinK Wine Group, what they produce is 100% vegan prosecco, and sparkling wine as well. So if you're a sparkling wine prosecco drinker, rosé, which I've tried the rosé and I like it. It's also reduced calories. So I saw on the website today that it's like 40% less calories than.
So your standard glass of prosecco is around 105 calories. Yeah. Ours is 62 calories a glass.
Yeah, which is quite a big chunk. Yeah. Incredible. And reduced sugar, which is the big thing for us. You know, we target sugar heavily, as you know, and that's incredible. And from what I know, from what I've tasted and the reviews that I've read, is that there's no compromise there on taste. No, so you're getting all the taste, you know, and when you get into better. And I have this vision, and tell me if I'm way off. I have this vision in my mind where you go, boot camp's great, but wine's better. I mean, and it's like, well, how can
we're being honest?
How can you get boot camp results, but like keep wine in your diet, in your lifestyle or whatever?
Just put it into your calories.
Yeah, and it seems like you've nailed it. So, a couple of things that I really want to talk about. Yeah, the different aspects that you've picked out as like your marketing message, really. The vegan, the calorie reduction, the sugar, the taste. They're obviously the things that you want to focus on, but. And obviously we've got this massive wave of flexitarians, vegans, vegetarians right now from the Game Changers documentary and just the way that the movement is massively growing. Yeah. So was that sort of by proxy, a byproduct to what you're doing, or was it like a business decision?
To be honest, the vegan part was a business decision because I'm not a vegan. I don't pretend to be. I'd love to, you know, because people ask me all the time, like sometimes when we've been taken into a couple of vegan restaurants in the Northwest now, and they'll say to me, first thing, oh, you a vegan? And, you know, I'm a bit like, I don't really want to tell them that I'm not, because I'm the anti-vegan, if anything. But so the vegan thing was a bit of a business decision because I knew that was a trend and it was coming heavy and hard. But at the same time, there's no reason why it shouldn't be vegan, because if you think of wine, it's grapes, isn't it? So people go, what do you mean it's vegan? All wine's vegan. That's not true at all. It's the way it's kind of I can't think of the word for it now, but when you make the wine, it's like cloudy. And to like get rid of the clouds, you run it through different things, one of which is fish scales. Right. The others are like meat and dairy products. And that is why wines are not vegan, because of the way it's distilled, shall we say.
Yeah.
So for what reason shouldn't it be vegan? All we need to do is run it through something else, make sure it's vegan.
Yeah.
And then that way we serve the whole market, because it doesn't taste any different to standard wine, because it's made from grapes at the end of the day. So why should it not just be vegan to hit another target market? But at the same time, even though we do push that message online, I sell the wine into a load of places in Liverpool, which are big meat houses, like a steakhouse, a lovely place called Hope and Smoke. And that's very like barbecue heavy. But I sell it there, and they just use it as their kind of high-end prosecco because it tastes so nice and it's lower calorie. So for these,
win-win.
So they don't even mention that it's vegan. It's nowhere on their menu that it's vegan. It's just their higher-end prosecco that's got reduced calories.
Yeah,
and that's how they do it. Because if someone's eating a big steak and they think, oh well, if I can at least have near half the calories on the drink, then it's better than nothing.
Yeah, no, I know, I love it. And then the other thing that's not on here as well. It's stylish, like bottles are stylish. It looks stylish.
Yeah, you know, we were going for an Instagrammable look. We were, and that's obviously my background with the influencer agency to be Instagrammable. Everyone wants to be Instagrammable, so that's the look we were going for, and it is. Amazing. Girls are constantly taking photos, tagging us in it. The influencers love it. It's very good looking product.
So let's get the influencer. Oh, let's get the Instagram handles out there, because there's probably people multitasking, listening to this, like going, what is this? You know, this wine, less calories, great taste. I want it.
It's at ThinK Wine Group. That's the Instagram handle.
Yeah.
The website is www.thinkwinegroup.co.uk.
Yeah. And I could actually talk to you for hours, but maybe we'll do one or two episodes.
Yeah.
So let's stay with that vegan aspect and the filtration through the what we'd normally do through the fish scale. How the hell do you even find a supplier that's willing to mess around with something that have done probably for thousands of years, in the wine industry?
It's actually quite hard in Italy because they're so set in their ways. And obviously Prosecco has to come from Italy, so our drinks come from Italy. The reason it was 2 years in production is purely because we had to find the right winery.
Yeah.
And we needed... Basically, I went round tasting what a hard life, tasting all their products for like over a year in different wineries, in and out. And what I wanted was to find a Prosecco and a sparkling rosé that I liked with the sugar in, but still thought that it would taste nice with the sugar removed.
Right.
So, but because I already knew by this point that vegan was a trend and it was coming, I just only started visiting the vegan wineries. So they were already doing vegan products. Yeah. So I didn't actually have to make them change their ways because they were already a vegan winery. Yeah. So luckily, but it was hard to find because a lot of the ones, and some of them where I did go and taste and I was like, oh, this is quite okay. They weren't vegan. But that was a no for me. I was like, no, it does need to be vegan. But then when I found this winery, it was by far the nicest tasting wine that I'd had. Yeah. So I was like, we've hit the nail on the head here, and it was a jackpot. But that's the reason it took so long to develop. Yeah. Otherwise, because we were looking on a lead time of like a year. So when it was then 2 years, we were like, a bit like, but actually it's worth it because we got the product spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how is your Italian like?
Oh God, not good. Absolutely no good at all. I'm terrible.
There's just so many barriers there, isn't there? It's like, heading out, foreign country.
Yeah.
I mean, Italians, I can imagine they are hard to deal with.
Yeah, they are. Because again, they're just set in the ways and they're just like, well, no. If you want us to do this, you'll give us this. And it is hard. And they won't even, some of them won't even try and speak, they can speak English.
Yeah.
But they just don't want to. Because they're just like, well, no, you're in Italy. Yeah. You'll speak to me in Italian. I'm like, oh, I get it. I'd probably be the same, but it's just like difficult.
Yeah, really hard. Well done. It's good.
Thank you.
Okay, so then we've got the reduced sugar, reduced calorie aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And is the reduced calories because of sugar? And regards to taste, have you put an artificial sweetener in there or?
No, I didn't. We didn't touch it with anything artificial because again,
literally strict.
I just stripped sugar.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
Yeah.
So.
And have you found, you know, I'm not mega into prosecco, but have you found that like, so if I'm talking absolute bullshit, just okay. laugh at me and move on. Yeah. Have you found that people are putting like a natural fruit in there, like a strawberry in there and are they frosting glasses to, you know, what is kind of happening? What's the drinking habits of the?
Well, to be honest, like in most bars and restaurants, they'll always give you a strawberry on your glass.
Yeah.
That's just what you get.
Yeah.
What we've tried to put a push on with our prosecco is girls love cocktails, and a lot of cocktails have a prosecco base.
Yeah.
So if they're going to make a cocktail, why not make it with a prosecco that's much better for them?
Yeah.
Rather than making it with these full fat. And do you know what? These full fat proseccos don't even taste nice. Like, and they mask it by putting juice in. I don't think many people do put anything else in it unless they are trying to make a cocktail. But standard is it would come with like some kind of fruit in your glass.
Yeah.
If they're having it at home, we haven't seen a trend of anyone adding anything to it, although you could do. And if you want to make cocktails, it's a far better way. The thing is, people seem to think that like gin and vodka are these diet drinks, but because they're so high in alcohol, it's the alcohol that has the calorie content. So these drinks, even if you drink vodka or gin straight, it's like 60 calories. So ours is 62. So it's like, well, why would you want to drink straight vodka when you could have a glass of our wine? It makes no sense for the same calorie content.
Yeah.
So it's actually not that much of a diet product to drink gin.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. And, you know, same with tequila, same with anything that, you know, white spirits, which is what people will, you know, there was previously before the ThinK wine group came along. Yeah. It was like, you know, stick to as light a spirit as you can.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the best of the bad.
I think people don't realise that it is actually the alcohol that makes it calorific. And we didn't actually remove alcohol. So Prosecco can be, I could be wrong in how far it can go up to, but it's like 11% to like 15% or something.
Yeah. Still quite strong for a wine, isn't it? But
we're 11%.
Yeah.
We didn't go any lower than that.
Yeah.
Because, well, firstly, you wouldn't be able to call it Prosecco if you did. But secondly, why would I want to remove the alcohol? That's the whole reason I'm drinking, to get a buzz. Yeah. So we were never going to remove the alcohol to remove calories from it. That was never a thing. We were just going to remove the sugar. And that's what we did. And the amount of sugar we removed was just dependent on the taste, because I was adamant that even though I wanted to remove the sugar and make this better for you, I didn't want it to taste bad. Yeah. Because I thought, well, what's the point? No one drinks things that taste disgusting just because it's less calories. I'd rather have a full fat Coke any day. Yeah. So I thought, okay, we'll remove it, but not so much where it's tasting bad. So we just removed. So I think standard is about 10, 11 grams, and we've got 5 grams sugar. So it's much better, but at the same time, it's not like, oh, there's no sugar in this whatsoever, because people enjoy it.
Well, and the thing with alcohol is like the body can only use alcohol as energy. Like, you know, you can't, you know, it's just complete. That's why we call it empty. It's just empty calories, because that's you know what you're doing with it. Yeah. Amazing, right? I had a great question to ask you then, but I completely forgot what it is.
Use your paper for your notes.
I know my notes are just like out, absolutely gone out the window. What was I going to say? So I'm lost. What should have I asked you? That's a great question, isn't it? No, this is what I was going to ask you. How many in the production, right? Yeah. How many glasses of Prosecco do you think you've drank since like early testing?
This is why
and all
I have
that?
to keep coming back to bootcamp, because I can't stop tasting. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm gonna go with like 100. Yeah, I reckon about 100, because it's like a couple of different options in each winery. And we've been to many wineries. Yeah. So I reckon about 100.
So how much is a bottle of, I suppose, how much does it retail for? So you're going wherever to your supplier and you're buying. I know restaurants obviously can have different markup and all that kind of stuff, but
so it's all different really. So if we're selling to wholesalers, as in like distributors, for example, like Matthew Clark's a big one, Venus is a big one, which, by the way, if anyone's listening to this, I'm really looking to get in with a big distributor.
Yeah.
We have been approached by a couple. The problem is you lose control of your product, and this is like quite a high-end brand, really, and they'll drive everything down, but also they'll sell you into anywhere. And I don't want to be anywhere. Like, we are a nice product, and I don't want to be in, a really small, terrible bar somewhere. That's not what I'm after. I want it to be in the nice establishments. So you almost lose control of where your product's going. But I would love to get in with, big distributors, LWC, Matthew Clark, anyone like that. But if you're selling wholesale, it's obviously very, very low. They drive you down. So I don't actually know, because we haven't got to there yet. Yeah. Online, we're selling it at $18.99, and in bars and restaurants, they sell it at anything from £25 to £30. If they're in London, I think it's like the place that we've got it, which is Mercato Metropolitano. They're selling it for $35, I think, but they're doing really well on sales.
Yeah.
But the reason we keep it high online, like quite a $18.99, you could get a bottle in Asda for £6, so it is quite high. But the reason for that is your bars and restaurants won't take you if you don't have a high price point online, because they'll say, well, how are we supposed to sell it for 25 to 30 quid a bottle when you're selling it online for a tenner? And so you've just kind of got to keep them happy and decide who you're going for. Are you going for the bars, restaurants, hotels, or are you going for online sales? And for us, it's about building a brand that's out in the world. It's not about just like online sending it to people's houses, because most of the time people probably won't sit in and drink an $18.99 bottle of wine. They'll sit in with a £6 bottle of wine, and that's fine. Apart from special occasions, obviously Christmas, they always want nice things, and if you're going to be eating that much over Christmas, you want to be watching the calories. But standard, I don't think people would necessarily buy such an expensive bottle online. But that's just the way we've got to do it to keep everyone happy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Did I ever tell you my Cristal story?
No.
I thought I might have. Oh, okay. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
So Paula, when was pretty new to the bootcamp industry, a client that we worked a lot with.
Yeah.
Probably our first ever real like more than 12-month long termer.
Yeah.
And he bought Paula a bottle of Cristal. Right, I know it's not prosecco, but
Yeah, well.
So, and
it's only like 250 quid a bottle.
Yeah, so she kept it and kept it and kept it and kept it, and then one day, Paula and I was going away for a weekend away, and we was going to stay in this log cabin with a hot tub, and she's like that, bring in the Cristal, because we're going to have a night, and me and you are going to drink this, we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we went to a log cabin in Somerset, and our friend that we'd also met at boot camp lived nearby. So we said, look, come round, you know what I mean? Have a cup of tea and we'll have a chat with you and all that kind of stuff. And then we was thinking tomorrow night we'll get in the hot tub and have the Cristal. Yeah. So anyway, she came round and Paula said, right, nip to Tesco's or whatever and just get a bottle of wine or whatever. And I got a cheap Tesco's Prosecco, right? Yeah. So came back to the cabin and Paula was, right, pour some drinks. So I poured drinks, brought them out, and they were like, God, this is beautiful. This is amazing. £10 for this. This is incredible. And I'd opened by mistake the Cristal and I gave it all. And Paula and I barely drank any of it. And her friend, drank the whole lot.
Did she kill you?
No, she was like, my God, that's typical. That is typical. But,
yeah, she's used to you.
Yeah, she is. Puts up with a hell of a lot of crap. Right, brilliant. So, and then all that. What amazes me that with all this, you haven't compromised on that taste. Yeah. If anything, you've worked really hard to keep it high.
Yeah.
So have you equated it to like Slimming World sins or?
Yeah, I have actually.
Weight Watcher points or whatever?
I haven't done Weight Watcher points, but I've done Slimming World sins and it's 4 sins per glass. I think your standard is 6.
Yeah.
So it's obviously...
You're going to squeeze out an extra glass or whatever.
I don't know what they're allowed per day these days. I think it's like 15 maybe sins. So, you can have a bottle for that. Get moving.
Dancing on the tables. Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing, I'm in the weight loss industry and I know that a big problem for most people is this feeling that they're missing out and they've got to do without in order to manage the weight, lose weight, whatever. Yeah. And that, that restrictive mode.
It's like an all or nothing mentality. Yeah. I've seen it in so many people and in myself because I'm like that as well.
And then do you find that so they restrict for a while And then
you fall off and it's well worse. Yeah. That's why like now I actually control my calories because I'm like, it's the only way, because I need a bar of chocolate. Like I need one. Otherwise I'm going to go mad and eat 17 of them. So if I can just work a bar of chocolate into my calories every few days, what does it matter?
Yeah, it's smart. That's a smart way to look at it. And you know, I speak to people all the time and they're like, that's it. No chocolate for me for the rest of my life. And I'm like, bullshit. You know, you're trying to just rub it. Why are you kidding yourself?
Yeah.
You know, and if you can come up with some way of managing, don't get me wrong, there are people similar to alcoholics that
you have to.
They've got to cut that out. You know, otherwise it just spirals. But the average person is moderation. Yeah. So brilliant. Okay, and there's one person obviously that I believe you kind of partnered with.
That
they haven't mentioned yet. So what kind of where did that come about?
You
know. And
so basically, what happened was this had been an idea of mine for a while, and it was based on my own experiences in influencer marketing, and you know, I'd seen how successful we made brands off the back of them working with influencers, and I was kind of all over, right, well, what product can I do then? Because I was gaining so much weight being in that lifestyle. And so were some of the others. Some of the influencers were like moaning, you know, oh God, can't even have a bottle of wine, I'm gaining weight, blah, blah, blah. And something kind of twigged in my head, and I thought, if we could make like a reduced calorie wine that still tasted nice, because there was some out at the time, but it tasted like crap. And they really did. And I tried them all, because obviously I'm trying all these diets and I'm Googling everything and I'm trying everything, and every one of it tastes like crap. And I'm thinking, if we could do this where it tasted nice, we could really make it work. Like, it would be amazing. So it'd been in my mind, and it's a very long story, this, but I'd actually almost gone into business with someone else doing something similar. And that kind of fell through. So I was at boot camp almost get myself back on my feet, really, because it was a bit of a bad time. And I was just training and, you know, whatever. And I met this lady called Nana. So I think she'd been there quite a few weeks. She'd been there a while, like. And we just absolutely hit it off, like, couldn't stop laughing, just made mates, you know, as you do. Like, somehow, sometimes you just click with someone on the first hour, and that's it. You stuck together for the whole week. You can't keep apart. And it's like, you had all these plans. I'm going to read all these books, put a face mask on, go to bed at 8, but then you're up laughing till 11:30 at night. And that's what happened with her. Like, we literally just clicked, and then we're chatting our heads off. And eventually, by the end of the week, I was very comfortable with her, and I kind of told her about like my idea and I was just like, you know, imagine us. She was like, she couldn't believe it. She was like, wow, imagine us sat here now. You know, we've just worked out all day, but we just have a nice glass of wine.
This is what I imagined. Like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And we were like, oh yeah, just right now we could just murder a glass of wine, and it'd be low calorie, so it wouldn't matter. Like, just think of all that exercise you've done. That one glass of wine is not touching the sides on everything you've done in this day. And we were like, yeah. And I was just like, let's just do it. She's like, yeah, let's just do it. So she ended up investing in the product. Yeah. And we went into it together. So
and did I see? Well, I saw it recently, but you know, imagine.
Yeah.
You went out to Africa to.
I did, yeah.
And how was that? Because it was
incredible. Amazing. Yeah. I've been wanting to get to Africa for a while, because I'm trying to tick the 7 continents. So the only one I've not done now is Antarctica. But before that, I hadn't done Africa. I'd done Egypt, but I don't know if you can class that. So I was like, you know, I'm dying to get to Africa. But Nana's originally from Ghana. Yeah. So when we'd finally got the wine up and running, after, you know, taking us longer than we expected, but when it was finally ready, she was like, it's my dad's 80th birthday in Ghana. Like, we should go. We could like sponsor the event, because it's a big event. Apparently her dad's kind of someone. So it was like a big event that they were having, and she was like, we could sponsor the event, we'll get to meet loads of good people, you know, I know loads of people in the hospitality industry, we can discuss taking the wine into Ghana. So I was like, you don't have to ask me twice, see you there. So we just booked I think it was 10 days in Ghana, and flew over, and we did all types of events, met all types of people. We are going to be going into Ghana with the product. Yeah. So, and again, it's only going to be like high-end places, but apparently like the people who do like have money and they are interested in health and well-being, apparently they'll spend on anything like that, and they love like a Western product anyway. So, yeah, we went over there. It was actually so amazing, more than I could ever imagine. I was going to beach bars, like lying there. It was so sunny, so hot. Everyone was just lovely, because people scare you sometimes. Like, they're like, oh, you know, be careful. You've got to get all these jabs. Yeah. But I was never scared. I was like, I don't care. I'm going. And even my mum, she's like, really? You're going to go there? I'm like, yeah, of course I am. Why wouldn't I? So, yeah, it was just the best time ever. So I'm glad I went. I'll be going back and forth. And I think I'd like to take my influencers, because I think that what we could probably do for like tourism in Ghana would be huge, because people don't understand that there are all these mad beach clubs that you find like in Dubai, in Ibiza, but they're in Ghana and they're half the price, a fraction of the price. Yeah. So why wouldn't you just go there and look unreal? Over the sea. They're all just as gorgeous. So it's like, well, who wants to spend all these grand in Ibiza when you can go to Ghana and do it? So
incredible. So what about the future then? What's the future got in store?
I think the plan is to get a large distributor, so that I'm not so much just out on the ground running around on my own, like selling into bars, restaurants, hotels. So that's the plan. Once we've got one of them, that will I think that'll just fly in the UK at that point.
Yeah.
We've already, Nana's been over to Australia, and we've already got a distributor in Australia. So I actually think that ThinK Australia is going to be bigger than ThinK UK, just purely because already we have a distributor there. So they're going to be working on just getting us out. Do more of taking the online market, just getting the brand well known. That's what we want. And that's like the aim, to just make sure that everyone knows about ThinK, because once they know and they've tasted it, they all love it.
Yeah.
So it's just getting people to taste the product. I'm going to do a lot more events, like where people can just try it, and because I know it's a sell the second they've tried it. It's just hard, because right now we don't have small bottles. Otherwise, I'd probably gift a small bottle to everyone in England if I could.
Yeah.
But we only have big bottles at the minute, and obviously the stock is in massive levels right now. We want to place an order for double what we ordered originally next time. We just want to grow and expand. So I'm just working on it day by day.
Amazing. Yeah. And I gave 2 bottles as a gift this year for Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and they are the perfect sort of price range for a gift, aren't they? Yeah, so exactly. if you're listening
to
this,
great for Valentine's Day.
Yes, amazing for Valentine's Day. Right, okay, so we're gonna start kind of wrapping this up a little bit, but if we can just jump back to bootcamp. Obviously, we've spoke about wine, incredible stuff that you're doing there, and I'll watch as things unfold, and I can't wait for it to hit Australia and all that kind of stuff. But what I'd really like to do is talk about some of the standout people that you've met at bootcamp.
Yeah.
One or two, maybe. I don't want to say top 3, but 3 most memorable, or 3 ones that made the biggest impression, or whatever. Yeah. And then it'd be nice for you to pick out a member of staff, perhaps, that really stands out in your mind.
God.
It's like choosing. It's like choosing between your kids, isn't it?
I know. I love them all. Right. Okay. The most standout one for me ever is going to be James.
James. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think probably everyone you get on this is going to say that.
I don't know. We had a lady recently, Nigerian as well, called Farida, and she was. Did you meet Farida?
Yeah,
you must have met. Yeah. And she
was
only
briefly.
Yeah.
We didn't. Yeah. I didn't meet her for that long, but yeah, everyone.
And what was it about James then that
it was. I think, if anything, it was because I seen him at the very beginning and at the very end. So therefore,
you saw when he could barely walk around the paddock.
I've actually got a photo of him, which I should give you.
Yeah.
Like it's so shocking to see, because it's just not him.
Well, send it and I'll put it on the show notes for this.
I'll send it. But I took that the first time I met him, and it must have been his first week. He couldn't even get up. He was sat on the floor on this photo, and I remember that he couldn't get up off the floor. And to walk to the door, it was so hard for him. And I was like, oh my God. And I loved him because his personality is so bubbly, so friendly, so nice. And I was thinking, this lad's going to die. Like literally, that he looked like he was on death's door. And I was like, oh my God, like, please let bootcamp save him. And it did. It literally saved his life. He was there for over a year?
Yeah, over a year. About 18 months. We had to kick him out in the end.
Yeah. He wouldn't go. I think a lot of people are like that. Obviously I seen him throughout, so I kept seeing him when I come back, and the change in him was mega. it was like, oh my God, James, you've lost again, you've lost again, you've lost again. And then eventually when I seen him at the very end, he was just a new person. He was the fittest person I've ever come across in my life by the time he left, I think.
Sorry, just had to sort the camera out there. Okay, number two. We'll just do 2 and then we'll pick out a couple of members of staff.
Number 2. Who's it going to be? I mean, maybe Ricky.
Yeah.
But he's a member of staff now, isn't he?
Well, so okay, we'll just roll into that, yeah. What about Ricky? Why with Ricky?
Why Ricky? Because, again, it's another person who I've seen I think for me, everyone who's, do you know what? Who it is? For me, I know. I know. And now I can't think of a name. Oh, this is shocking.
No pressure.
She looks like a Kardashian.
Oh, Priya.
Yeah. Priya. Yeah. Right, okay. Priya. Because it changed her personality.
Well, like, I remember, I always say this. Priya turned up like, is it Thelma or Selma or whatever from Scooby-Doo? You know?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
She had the glasses, she wore the frumpy clothes, you know what I mean?
She had a black hoodie that she never took off for weeks. And obviously she was a nice girl, but she wouldn't look me in the eye or anything. I'd be like, hi, Priya. She wouldn't look me in the eye. Like, she had her head down, she had her glasses on, she was just unhappy. Like, it was clear as day. Not like James, even though James was really big, he was still bubbly. He was still like filled the room with life. Still, his personality was still there. She wasn't. There was nothing left in her. You could tell she was unhappy. And then I came back like 6 months later and she's like, hi, Kath. And I was like, who are you? So then I said to Imogen, who's that girl? Because she keeps saying hi, Kath, and I don't know who she is. I've never met her in my life. So then someone said to her like, oh, blah, 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 it's Priya. I was like, no, you're lying. You are lying.
She was incredible, yeah.
I got the biggest shock in my life because her body was unbelievable. She looked like a Kardashian, but her personality, she dyed her hair blonde. It was out. She had makeup on. She was running around. She was like owning the room and she could put on, a show. The change in her is the biggest change I've ever witnessed in any human being. So she, to me, is mine probably number 1, I would say.
Brilliant. I always do like a little bit of a rapid fire round with some of the staff, right? So basically I'll say a name and then the first word that comes to your mind.
Oh, God.
Okay, and then we'll take it from there. So let's start with a really easy one. Paula.
Loveliest person ever.
Ash. Do you know Ash?
Oh, so annoying. No, just I would describe him as hell because he puts you through absolute agony.
Yeah. Reggie?
Runner of doom. Too many runs.
And new addition to the team, actually, Reese. You've obviously been training with him yesterday. Yeah,
no, I really like Reese. I said to Reese yesterday, actually, he's looking hench.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened, but first time I seen him, he was looking skinny. Yeah. Now he's looking really good. But yeah, no, he's hench. That's my word for him.
Yeah. And okay, Ricky. So let's have a little.
Oh, Ricky.
Ricky. Who's going to be? We're going to have a panel of people usually on the podcast, and Ricky's going to be
one of them.
One of the panel, yeah. So.
I think Ricky he's just so fun.
Yeah.
Isn't he? He's just so fun and so bubbly and like he's just such like a nice, caring lad. And he was another one who again he looked like he was on death's door, and then yet again now he's like fit as a fiddle running around the field. So. I just think the mental resilience of these people who stay that long, it surprises me and shocks me and it impresses me. So he's just one who really impresses me.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so Kath, thank you very much for being our first guest.
Thank you for having me.
On the podcast. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
A bit like being on the radio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously this podcast wouldn't have been possible without the ThinK Wine Group, who was our sponsors for this episode. Yeah. Obviously we said the website earlier on. I'll put links to that in the description, the show notes and all this kind of stuff. And then when we post this episode on social media, we'll make sure that we put your handle at ThinK Wine Group on Instagram. So follow them,
we'll get it
like them, share them. We will do it. Find us a distributor.
Yes, get me on LinkedIn.
This is much needed in the industry. There's a lot of stuff out there which is just crap. People putting crap in the body.
Yeah.
This is organic. It's vegan. Reduced calories, reduced sugar. You cannot.
Can't go wrong.
If you're a wine drinker, then this is for you. So thanks again, Kath.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next time. You're at Bootcamp.
Yes, definitely. See you soon.